And let's go. So, December 10th, 2020, episode 4. It's all about the pop, featuring me, Double A with RON Entertainment. Or is it just like to be called, or I like to be called, Aaron Entertainment. And only a few left. Okay, so Double A with RON Entertainment here, bringing you episode 4 is all about the pop, where I talk about pop culture, you know, comic books, Marvel, DC, Image, whatever, movies, Star Wars general, Star Trek, if I ever talk about Star Trek, video games, TV shows, anything is relatable to pop culture. That's what I'll be talking about. Here it's all about the pop episode 4. And on this episode, they got some news to break down. Huge news this week. Spider-Man 3 casting news. Casting returns. Spider-Man 3, we'll talk about Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, Chapter 14. We'll talk about Wonder Woman 84, first reactions. What does that mean? We'll talk about HBO, Warner Brothers putting the movies on HBO Max. I'll go over the list of movies, but there's also other issues like Nolan weighs in on this, Legendary Pictures, AMC. I'll find articles talk about that. I'm going to talk about there's a KFC movie, and it's going to be brief, of course. What other topics have I written down here? Monster Hunter. There's a movie, Monster Hunter, pulled from the Chinese Theaters. Yep, that's true. And oh yeah, I'm going to talk about Oscar Isaacs being cast as Snake in the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie. And I'll tell you what I think about that. So let's get to Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3. We don't know the title of that yet. It's obviously going to be relatable to the word home in it. Somehow home's going to be in that video, that movie. But it looks like they're expanding the universe to being a multiverse, because as you know, a couple months ago we got confirmation that Jamie Foxx will be reprising his role as Electro, and there's rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back for the movies as they're reprising their Spider-Mans. Remember, Tobey Maguire from the original trilogy in the 2000s, Garfield portrayed Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man. Rumors, we don't know if it's 100% true about that, but we got news this week that Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, will be reprising his role in the next upcoming movie as Doc Oct. And apparently, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is not going to be in the movie. And now, from what I read yesterday, also Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, Kristen Dunst, and Emma Stone will be reprising their roles. It's Gwen Stacy and Kristen Dunst and Mary Jane as in the upcoming movies. And we know Doctor Strange is going to be in the movie too. So let's talk about this. I know Electro and Dr. Octopus are dead. I know that, right? I know Dr. Octopus is dead. I think Electro is dead too, but they're going to find some way to bring him back to life, obviously. Something's going to go wrong. It's going to create a multiverse. That's why we have Doctor Strange, because of the multiverse. I think it's going to happen. I think the Sinister Six is going to form. Look, it's looking Tom Holland's Spider-Man verse. Saw in the MCU verse. What villains do we have? In the first movie, Spider-Man Homecoming, we have the Vulture, Michael Keaton. Vulture's in there. We have Shocker and Matt Gargan, Scorpion. But he's not Scorpion yet. He does have the tattoo of Scorpion. they're not fully. I mean, Shocker is more of a side villain, not really important. But in Matt Gargan's not Scorpion, as I said, right? But Vulture is the key villain. Michael Keaton, he's been in prison. Mysterio, then Far From Home, Mysterio is dead. I wish they kept him alive. He could be valuable to the Sinister Six. And you got Dr. Octopus, of course, is a key member of Sinister Six. So Alfred Molina might reprise Dr. Octopus as a leader of the Sinister Six, possibly. Electro, Jamie Foxx, is Electro possibly joins the Sinister Six. So we could get Electro, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, eventually Scorpion, and Shocker. That's only 5 members. The 6th member, I have no clue. If I don't know if Sandman comes back, maybe Dale DeHaan's Green Goblin. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. But perhaps Mysterio's not dead. He faked his death. Maybe he'll be the 6th member. But I would love to see a new villain that hasn't made a film in any of the Spider-Man films. I'm thinking of possibly Kraven the Hunter. Oh, Rhino could be in it, right? Rhino's possibility as a Sinister Six member. I'm thinking of Kraven the Hunter, Hobgoblin. We know Lizard's been in the film. Those are 2 at the top of my list. Kraven the Hunter and Hobgoblin. But I think so it's possible Rhino's in it. Remember Amazing Spider-Man 2 at the end, they had the underground lab Oscorp Tower with all those technology look like weapons, whatever, and you had like the 4 tentacles, the Rhino suit, etc., etc. And then obviously the Rhino got that suit, the character. So can't pronounce his name, it's in Russian. Guess the suit. And so their plan was forming the next Spider-Man to forming a Sinister Six, or there was rumors of a Sinister Six movie, but unfortunately that movie didn't do too well, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they canceled Sony's plans, and they redid Spider-Man introducing the MCU, with Sony and Disney having a deal with using the characters, and it looks like this is a Sony production, so they could use the characters from the previous movies into this upcoming Spider-Man 3, homesick, I don't know, home prize, I don't know. It's going to be something, the title's going to have something to do with home. Homework, Spider-Man 3, homework? No. Homework. That'd be funny though, Spider-Man 3, homework. So I think the plan is to have Sinister Six, and maybe this is the rumors why Tom Holland's Spider-Man perhaps cannot defeat the Sinister Six on his own. So perhaps having Doctor Strange, Daredevil, and then it's not confirmed, but the other 2 Spider-Mans, if they are going to be in it, apparently I just read Tobey Maguire wants $15 million. It's a rumor that he wants $15 million to return. So it looks like Tobey Maguire's not in the movie. So if he is, it looks like the ideal is to have Tom Holland Spider-Man team up with Daredevil, Charlie Cox. Doctor Strange will help him in the multiverse, obviously. And those 2 other Spider-Men to even up the odds, perhaps. Perhaps another hero will come join the fray. Maybe they'll introduce Black Cat or whatever, somehow. But I don't know if the Garfield and Tobey Maguire, I don't know if they're confirmed for returning as Spider-Man. Their respective Spider-Mans. But I think it's going to Sinister Six. I think that's the reason they're doing this. Why else bring Electro back and Dr. Octopus? But I'd like to see him bring up the new villains, Hobgoblin, Kraven. I don't know what they're going to do with Venom and Carnage, because Venom 2 has Carnage in it. I don't know if that's going to be part of the same universe. I hope it is. The thing with Charlie Cox's Daredevil, his Daredevil is in more of a darker tone on the Netflix series, so they're going to have to tone his character down a bit to fit this, because Spider-Man is meant for the kids, right? For children, families, and the universe, even though it's part of MCU, but it's really darker tone. The universe Daredevil's in was much darker, not really meant for children. With Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher. It's not really meant for kids on Netflix. It's darker on Netflix. The tone was much darker. But if he's in a Spider-Man movie, you're gonna have to tone him down a bit. But people are excited. Can you imagine it was Ben Affleck's Daredevil? People are excited. I'm excited. I want to see this. I mean, I know there's some people who didn't like the Spider-Man the Homecoming movies, but I liked them. I thought 1 was better than 2. But I'm interested to see where this is going. It looks like news is picking up. Returning of the past. Past characters are returning. I mean, Gwen Stacy is dead too, right? Remember she died too? And Kristen Dunst's Mary Jane has been basically in the movies. Desmond in distress, because every time at the ending when they fight the main villain, whether it's Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, or Venom, she's always been captured and kidnapped. So it's basically a Desmond in distress in the Spider-Man movies in the 2000s. That's her whole role, really, is to be a Desmond in distress. That's where she's different from Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy is not a Desmond in distress, but because she actually had character. She was a scientist, smart like Peter. They had a relationship. Peter and Gwen Stacy's feelings were close. She actually helped Spider-Man or Peter Parker defeat the Goblin or whatever, Electro. She actually had something. She actually did something useful compared to Kristen Dunst's Mary Jane, where she's basically a Desmond in distress. The whole 3 movies. She had more of an influence in Amazing Spider-Man movies than Kristen Dunst's Mary Jane in those Spider-Man movies in the 2000s. She actually did more. And if you don't believe me, go watch the Spider-Man 3 movies from 2002, 2004, and 2007, and then watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Compare Gwen Stacy and Miss Stones to Kristen Dunst and Mary Jane. You see the big difference. Yes, they're both love interests, but you can see the huge difference between Gwen Stacy and Kristen Dunst's roles in those movies. Now, I'm excited for this. I hope you are. It doesn't matter what fan you are. This is exciting news. And I think they're filming now, but I don't know. Now, let's talk about something fun. So, last week we had Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, The Tragedy, Chapter 14. Now, if you didn't see this episode, please leave because I'm going to spoil it. I'll give you 10 seconds. I'll do a 10-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's 10 seconds. Okay, so now I'm going to spoil it. So that 2 episodes left tomorrow and the season finale next Friday. This past episode is The Tragedy. And this took the turn. This finally, we got something that really turned the tide in Mandalorian. So we got Mando and Grogu, Baby Yoda, Grogu, moving the planet where Grogu has to decide for himself. So you see him on the planet, sitting down, meditating with all this hot energy, green energy, meditating. And you see all of a sudden a spaceship, Boba Fett's spaceship. Well, yeah, Boba Fett's alive, and I forget her name, but if you remember the episode where that guy killed the woman assassin, I think. We thought she was dead, but she's alive. The actress is Chimingwa or something. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she played Chun-Li in the horrible Street Fighter 92 movie. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, then you've seen her. So Boba Fett recruited her, and she's in his service at depth for saving her life. And Boba Fett, wants the armor that Mando had from the first episode Remember he got from the. Oh yeah, remember he got from the sheriff, the marshal, the episode, the marshal. It was mostly Boba Fett's armor, and so they didn't even have a fight or anything. Mando didn't really trust him. But there was a bounty on Grogu's head, but he just wanted the armor. Unfortunately, the remnants of the Empire came. They basically had the advantage. Mando was dealing with Boba Fett and his ally. They had to join up to take out the Empire's, the stormtroopers, and Mando tried to convince Grogu that they have to go. He couldn't because that green energy force field, whatever you want to call it. If you went into it, it'll knock you back. He was done that, but unfortunately he was captured by the super troopers. I forget what they're called. I'm not I like Star Wars, but I'm not a huge nerd. But I understand if you're watching this and you're a huge nerd, you know what I'm talking about. They could fly and they fly to a ship. Boba Fett was chasing them. Obviously couldn't catch up to them. Unfortunately, the members of the Empire destroyed Mando's ship, so his ship is destroyed. Boba Fett made sure to see what ship those super stormtroopers, wherever they are, what ship they ran on to. And Boba Fett, his ally, and Mando had to team up because they had to rescue Grogu, of course, right? And you see the ending, Moff Midian, walking to a cell where Grogu's hands are tied up. They capture him. Looks like he's to be, as I said, he's gonna be the clone. He's gonna be what they want to clone from. Perhaps make Snoke, who is the clone of course, the Emperor, Darth Sidious, Palpatine. And you see Mando, Boba Fett, his ally. They land back on the planet where Cara Dune is the sheriff part of. He needs their help to rescue Grogu. They look up a person in the record database that can help them. And from there, we'll go episode 7 of season 2 tomorrow. 2 episodes left, 7 and 8. 7 tomorrow, 8 next week. Season finale next week. Chapters 15 and 16. Getting up, good people. We're almost done with Mandalorian. It will be the way this episode turned everything up. It's gonna be exciting 2 episodes. That's why episode 6 was called a tragedy. It was not a good episode for the Mandalorian. It was one episode where Mando lost, because past episodes was usually triumphant, but in this time things did not go his way. Now things are starting to pick up and get interesting in the Mandalorian for season 2. And let's continue with Disney. So I thought there's a Disney investor call. So I would think if they had any news about Disney's investor call before this live stream, I would have told you about it. I would go to the internet and talk about it. But unfortunately, it's gonna be at 4 p.m. Western time, so 7 p.m. Eastern time. So it's not gonna be I'm not gonna have anything about it now. But I can speculate. There's speculation on what the rumors are about. The rumors are about some of Star Wars, some of the MCU. That Star Wars potentially will have a spin-off series with 2 characters. Rumor is Boba Fett's gonna have one, and there's been talk about Ahsoka having a spin-off series. Now I hear that Boba Fett doesn't really need a spin-off series, and I agree. He doesn't really need a spin-off series. Ahsoka does, but those are the 2 rumors of Star Wars. As long as other Star Wars, maybe a trailer for Kenobi or some point. I don't know about Star Wars episodes, Star Wars solo movies, or any episodes coming up. And when it comes to MCU, I don't know. They have a movie Souls coming out the same day as Wonder Woman 84 on Disney Plus. I don't know if we're gonna get anything on Black Widow. I assume no, because Black Widow is slated for May, and they still have time and hope things get better by May. I think things will be a little better in May. I don't know how much better, but things will be better in May, especially in US and Canada. Things will be better in May, for sure. So maybe there's a chance Black Widow. If not, they'll go to Disney Plus. And I know a lot of people had complaints about Mulan. You have to pay the $34 extra plus a subscription. I think Black Widow will do better with that, because I think Black Widow will be a better movie, and it has a bigger fan base. MCU has a bigger fan base than Mulan, so it will do much better in Disney Plus than Mulan. It's quite obvious. What are Disney movies? They have MCU movies. Shang-Chi. I don't know what their plan was for that. And the Eternals. The Eternals and Shang-Chi were supposed to come out this year, along with Black Widow. Remember, this is the first year in MCU that no content, whether it's movies or TV shows, have come out for Disney in the MCU universe or Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nothing, no content. It was close. WandaVision was supposed to come out this month, but it pushed it back to January 15th. So halfway into January, we're gonna get WandaVision. I assume maybe they're gonna release a final trailer. Oh. Speaking of trailers, Cobra Kai season 3 trailer, only a minute long, but it features is Johnny and it features them teaming up, Johnny and oh my god, how can I forget his name? Jesus Christ, it's blank. That's so stupid. I like Karate Kid. How can I forget his name? Daniel's son, or Daniel. Johnny and Daniel have to team up, because remember, Johnny lost his JoJo to his former master. Now they have to team up. They just got rid of hand. So especially saw season finale, that school fight where Miguel got really seriously hurt, paralyzed possibly, from Johnny's son. It looks like he's in correctional facility for kids, teenagers, juvenile hall. It looks like he's in. So it looks like he turns himself in where he gets captured and he goes to juvenile hall. He gets beat up by some inmates there, some kids. I guess they're considered inmates. I'm not 100% sure, right? And you see that one of Johnny's former flame from Japan in episode, not Johnny, Daniel's former girlfriend from Karate Kid 2. Remember, he had a girl from Japan in the Karate Kid 2, and it looks like also making his appearance. I didn't know he was still alive. I don't know if it's him, but it's somebody you'll recognize. I don't know it's exactly him, but as I watch the episodes, I'll either recognize. Maybe it's, remember when Miyagi in Karate Kid 2 had a kind of a feud with his father's student. It looks like he makes a return. You know, they're on good terms. Remember, the end of that movie, they forgive each other. Remember, Mr. Miyagi and his father's student, they forgive each other. So maybe, because from what I hear, Daniel goes back to Japan to find himself again. In Cobra Kai. Which I really like the first 2 seasons. I watched it on Netflix when it came to Netflix. I only watched the first 3 episodes on YouTube when it was free. I didn't want to pay for YouTube to watch TV. And I saw the first 2 seasons fully YouTube in September. And I'm excited to see season 3 next month, because, as I said, I love the first 2 seasons, and this got me pumped up. I mean, like, the last episode, season finale, was basically a gang, like 2 JoJos that don't like each other. It's like basically a gang fight. That's what they are. A gang fight. treated like two gangs that just don't like each other, and man, that was violent shit. That's Cobra Kai, man. Before I get to HBO and Wonder Woman stuff, so there's a KFC movie. And Mario Lopez is going to be playing Colonel Sanders. Why? I don't know. But yeah, so there is KFC movie, Mario Lopez. I don't know. I guess some studio decided to make a KFC movie. Whatever. Okay. Now, let's get to Wonder Woman. So apparently last week they had the first reactions from influencers to see Wonder Woman 84, and everything was positive. They said they like it. I'm glad they like it and stuff like that, but their influencers, they might be paid or compensated for saying good stuff about the movie. Because I remember movies in the past where influencers said, "Oh, this is good, better than the first." But then when the movie comes out from critics and fans, they say the exact opposite. I remember Batman vs Superman. Everybody loved the trailer and stuff, but the movie wasn't so good. Same with Justice League. The movie wasn't so good. You can't be fooled by these influencers. The critics, we'll see what the critics say. And I know people don't listen to the critics because critics don't go into movies as fans. You have to see it from a critic's point of view and not as a fan point of view. And we'll see what critics, but people take critics' word seriously. They either like it or don't like it. And when the critics say, what critics say might influence a person going to see a movie. Influencers, they do, but critics more have, let's say, what's the word? More of an influence on people because they're more respectable, they're more knowledgeable about the movies than influencers. But the overall thing is, Wonder Woman's first reactions look good, but the overall thing is, as a fan, we have to see it for ourselves. Because it may be a good movie overall, it may do well, but is every movie subjective? I may like it, and you may not like it. And I can say it's a good movie, and you may say it's a bad movie. Every movie is like that. Everything, TV show, is like that. Video games are like that. So everything is subjective, but it looks like so far from influencers, just take it for, I won't say a grain of salt, but don't take it seriously right now, until critics say anything and until you see it. With that, and I mentioned video games just like a few seconds ago. So Cyberpunk 2077 comes out today for the PS4 and Xbox. And yes, you can get on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, but it's still the PS4 and PlayStation 4 version, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version, but it can be optimized for those consoles because the actual PS5 version and Xbox X Series X and S versions won't come out the next year. And I know it's gonna be very popular, it's in high demand, but that's a mistake because this game's been delayed multiple times, right? From like September, October, November, December. It's been delayed like 3 or 4 times already, and it's a mistake not putting it right, not having a PlayStation 5 version or an Xbox Series X S version. That's a mistake. They should have done that, but. And it's going to do very well. It's very hyped up. We got Keanu Reeves. Pick Keanu Reeves to do voiceover and stuff. It's an open world game. I may wait till the Xbox Series X, S, or PS5 version comes out. I have both consoles. I just gotta choose which one to get on. Cause right now PS5 I'm playing NBA 2K21, love it. But most of the time I'm mostly playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox Series X. I have the X, not the S, and I love Valhalla. I've been crazy about it right now. I've been playing it obsessively as of late for a week and a half. I just love that game right now. It's my go-to game right now. And this month I plan to buy a new game for the PS5. Maybe Spider-Man Morales, Demon Souls. I think I'm leaning towards Spider-Man Morales. But I might buy the full version, play Spider-Man again, and then the Morales after. But that's for video games right now. Cyberpunk 27 just came out today, released today. Usually games don't come out on a Thursday. It used to be Tuesdays, but now it's been moved to like Fridays and stuff. Nintendo was the first one to move games onto release dates onto Fridays, and then Sony and Microsoft started to do it. Usually Tuesdays were release dates, but now very rarely games get released on a Thursday. Very rarely. So let's talk about HBO, right? So let's look at the So as you know, Warner Brothers decided to release all their movies that they have in 2021 onto HBO Max and select theaters. So let's go through the list. And then there's some issues with AMC, Christopher Nolan, and Legendary Pictures. Let's go through the list. Here, I'm gonna go to Collider. Okay. Share screen. Okay, let's go through the list. So here are all the 2021 Warner Brothers movies that will release on HBO Max. So this is from Collider. Little Things, coming out January 29, 2021. Judas in the Black Messiah. Come on. You know what? Let's go to a better website. Here, let's go Global News. That's a Canadian website. Let's go here. Hello, let's go down. Okay, Tenet. Oh my god. Here, Vanity Fair. The spare have it. We all know Wonder Woman's coming first. Oh, I'll just go over. I'll type in this. Here, Suicide Squad. Yep, Space Jam. Yeah, Matrix. Black. I don't know. Black Adam's not coming out next year. I know that. Here, let's go here. This is on Wiki. This is really pissing me off, guys. Okay. Let's go. Wonder Woman. Okay. The little things. Tom and Jerry. Mary says Judas the Black Messiah. Godzilla. Conjuring. In the Heights. Space Jam. Suicide Squad. Dune. Elvis. King Richard. Matrix. Sherlock Holmes. Mortal Kombat. Okay. I'm pretty sure Justice League Snyder Cut. I'm looking for that. I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. I'm pretty sure it's. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. So those are all the films. You can see that for yourself, guys. But unfortunately, there's issues. Christopher Nolan's not happy about it. Let's go find a Christopher Nolan article. Because I'm looking for those films, to be honest with you. This is him. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, so you know it's legit. Let's go look. Take a look. Christopher Nolan whips HBO's Max as the worst streaming service, denounces Warner Brothers' plan. Yeah. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed at night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Filmmaker Christopher Nolan, whose relationship with Warner Bros. Dates back to Insomnia in 2022, and said in statements to Hollywood Reporter. Warner Bros. Has a credible machine for getting filmmakers works out everywhere, both in theaters and at home, and they're dismantling as it speaks. They don't even understand why they're losing. The decision makes no economic sense, and even the most casual Wall Street investors can see between disruption and dysfunction. There is dysfunction, I agree with that. Yeah, so he's not happy. Clearly not happy. He does have a relationship with Warner Brothers since Insomnia. I guess it's true. All his movies have been Warner Brothers studio produced. He's thinking of the stars and the filmmakers, of course, but I think he doesn't realize this is the same guy that pushed Tenet to come out of theaters, and Warner Brothers did what he told them. They did. They released Tenet, and it didn't make good money. Nobody went to the theaters. Nobody felt fine going to the theaters during that time. And people are still not going to go to the movies during that time. They could release one of these movies in January. People are not going to go. They're not going to make any money from the theaters. And people are signing up for HBO Max just to see these movies. It's a way to get more subscriptions. Maybe they'll have a price plan for these movies. I don't know. It's just this current situation we're in the world, and these studios, I think they just have a plan. They want to go forward, and and as long as the longer this goes, their plan it destructs their plan for the future. So they want to get these movies out, especially the DC movies. They want to get the movies out so they can plan for the next movie, the next phase, whatever. I think that's the idea. And I know Legendary Pictures is not happy about Godzilla. King of Monster, Godzilla versus Kong. And they're talking about lawsuits. AMC's talking about suing. I know it's not happy. I know they're not happy because A team's gonna lose money. They might go. They're probably gonna go bankrupt. They're dead in the water. I understand they're not happy. I understand no one's not happy. But it's the current situation we're in the world. It sucks. But as a fan, who cares? Fans are gonna love it. I'd rather see it in the movie theaters. If Wonder Woman was in the theaters right now, I'll go see it in the theaters if it's possible. If it's safe and the pandemic's over and whatever, the COVID is not serious anymore. It's not affecting many people anymore. It's been reduced to barely affecting anybody. We're safe. Where everything's opened up. I would go see Wonder Woman in the theaters. I would rather see movies in the theaters. But since I have the option to see them on HBO, I don't have HBO Max in Canada, but whatever service is here, Canada, if I have the option to see them, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. That's me as a fan, and I'm sorry for the theater chains like AMC in the US. I'm sorry for that. I feel sorry for them. It's not fair to them, but this pandemic, it's not fair to anybody. Let's just get that away. It's not fair to anybody. What can you do? Let's see what else is there, huh? Oh yeah. So, two more news items I'm gonna share with you, or maybe there's some movie news. No, maybe there's some movie news. I don't care. Here, see the Star Wars thing. Let's look. I'm gonna read it out to you. This is some Screen Rant. So yeah, Screen Rant. Expansion. A Boba Fett prequel said that. A Ahsoka spinoff said that. Also could be plans for a 2023 movie. And that's about it. I don't know. That's what the Star Wars thing. And there's Amanda if you know Amanda Seyfried, she was offered the role of Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, Volume 1. But she turned it down because she didn't want to do the makeup because she remembers the Jennifer Lawrence Mystique when she took hours and hours for the paint blue. She didn't want to go through that. And she said it was a mistake. Okay, that's Amanda Seyfried. She opened up about it. She was offered that role as Gamora. Now let's go to other news. So this is an underrated movie. If you played the game Monster Hunter, right? Monster Hunter. You would know there was a movie being made by the director of Resident Evil movies and starring Mila Jovovich. Yeah. It's the same. You can tell it's the same production, same directing as the Resident Evil movie, because the same director, C.W. Anderson. So it's probably not very good. But apparently it got pulled in China. It's out in China. The movie got pulled out of theaters in China because of an offensive joke. And China has standards there, more strict standards when it comes to this stuff. So I understand when they pulled it out. But here, they wouldn't get pulled out. And I'm not invested in seeing this movie. I'm not going to go see this movie in theaters or anything. But I'm going to watch it online because I'm kind of see what this movie is all about. I don't know. I just have a small interest in seeing this movie. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I just do. I just want to see this movie. I played Monster Hunter games a little bit. I'm not a huge fan. I played them a little bit. I'm not I could say I'm casual with it. I understand the game, but I don't know why they needed to make this movie. But here we go. This movie's out, not out here. I don't know when it's out here. I think soon, but oh well. China pulled the movie out because of an offensive joke. Which is China does that. They'll pull movies out because they have very strict rules about certain stuff in movies. Now let's go to final piece of news of the day. So Metal Gear Solid, the video game. I don't play Metal Gear Solid. I know it's very popular, very well liked. A lot of people played it. It's coming out with a movie of their own. They're in green light in production, and they've cast their Snake, which should be played by Oscar Isaacs. Apocalypse, Paul Dameron. He's going to be playing Snake. And remember, he's also playing Moon Knight in a TV series for Disney Plus. So he's a very busy man. He's playing 2 huge roles. Oscar Isaacs, he's very busy. So I don't know much about Metal Gear Solid, but my Metal Gear Solid fans, if you're watching, do you like this casting of Oscar Isaacs as Snake? Or do you think he'll do a good job? How do you think he'll portray the character on screen? Because you know the reputation of video games movies. They flippantly bomb, right? The majority of the time, like 95% of video game movies suck. But do you think this is a good casting for Snake? And do you have faith? Do you have faith in a good video game movie coming out of this with Metal Gear Solid? Let me know. Now let's get to the fun. Let's get to the ending, guys. So obviously there's gonna be more news passed along. If there's no, since it's a Disney news investors call, we're expected to release some news about coming Star Wars or maybe MCU. I'm gonna make a separate video on that. It won't be a stream, it'll be a video, and I'll post it on my YouTube. Look out for that, possibly. Look out for it. It's possible. I may not make it. I don't know. I may not make it. Let's see if there's any other things. Okay, so there's nothing else to talk about. So I'm gonna plug my shows. So this Saturday, Why We Love Sports, episode 7. I think it's 7 or 8. One of them. I think it's 7. I'm gonna talk about MLB free agency, trades. No, yeah, trades. Some OP is picking up. NBA stuff. We just got a huge contract extending by Paul George. I'm gonna talk about that. Just breaking an hour ago. Talking about hockey. It looks like hockey has a date in the alignment when the NHL is gonna start. NFL weekly predictions and other stuff. Why We Love Sports. Let me check if it's episode 7. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, episode 7. So Why We Love Sports, episode 7. And Monday, I haven't set the stream up, but Monday I'm gonna set up a stream up for It's All About Wrestling. It's my new title for Wrestling Topics. Wrestling Topics is placeholder title until I could come up with something. And it's all about wrestling. Like this show, it's all about the pop. It's all about wrestling. So this Monday, 3 p.m. I'm going to talk about It's All About Wrestling. It's going to talk about this past week on Raw. AEW, I'm going to talk a little bit about Impact. NXT. And of course SmackDown tomorrow. Talk about some wrestling news. And that's about it. Oh, and on Why We Love Sports, I expect to get some hockey cards soon, so I'll do an unpacking on Why We Love Sports. But back to It's All About Wrestling. Weekly review of Raw, Impact, AEW, NXT, and SmackDown. And I've been talking about WrestleMania rumors. There's WrestleMania rumors coming up. And TLC matches. And TLC is a week and a half away, baby. And I'll be making a prediction video. It won't be in a live stream, but I'll be making a prediction video for TLC. And of course, any news that comes up in the wrestling world, I'll be talking about. So, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and have a good afternoon, everybody. Or good night, wherever you are. Or good morning, wherever you are. Take care.